That game on your child's phone is quietly bypassing rules meant to protect them. This hidden loophole is quietly shaping their daily anxiety and turning your evening screen time talks into exhausting arguments. Most parents think simply checking the age rating in the App Store is enough, but that approach gets it completely backwards. By the end of our time together, you will have a simple 5-minute checklist to spot which apps are actually keeping your child safe, making your next tech talk much calmer. We have all been there. You are standing in the checkout line at the grocery store, or maybe you are just trying to cook dinner and you hand over your phone or let them use their tablet. You feel a brief wave of relief because the app has a little label that says it is for ages 9 and up. You assume that means it is safe. But that little age label is really just a suggestion from the developer, not a guarantee of safety. And this is where the new digital safety legislation comes into play, changing the entire landscape of what apps are legally required to do behind the scenes. The part most parents miss is that this new law does not just tell apps to put up a warning sign. It actually forces them to change how the app works by default. Think about what happens the second your child downloads a new game or social platform. Usually, the app asks for a dozen permissions right away. Camera, microphone, location, contacts. Under the old rules, the burden was on you to dig through confusing settings and turn all those features off. The new legislation flips that entirely. It mandates privacy by default. This means that when your child opens an app for the very first time, every single data collection tool must be turned off unless you explicitly give permission. Imagine the difference this makes. Instead of you playing an endless game of whack-a-mole trying to block trackers, the app is legally required to start with the blinds drawn. But here is the catch, and this is what you need to look for in the first minute of your checklist. You need to open the app's privacy settings and see if they are actually honoring this. Some apps will still try to bury the opt-out buttons or use confusing language to trick you into clicking allow. If the default settings are already turned on when your child first logs in, that app is not complying, and you need to know that right away. Now here is where it gets interesting, because the law goes way beyond just location tracking. It specifically targets how apps build profiles on kids. You know how some apps seem to know exactly what your child wants to watch next? That is because they are collecting behavioral data, tracking how long they hover over a video, what they click, and even how fast they scroll. The new rules strictly prohibit apps from using this kind of behavioral profiling to serve targeted ads to minors. They also restrict the amount of personal data an app can collect in the first place. So, the second item on your 5-minute mental checklist is looking at the app's data practices. You do not need to be a lawyer to do this. Just go to the App Store page, scroll down to the Privacy Nutrition label, and look at what they collect. If it says they collect browsing history, purchase history, or detailed usage data for advertising purposes, they are violating the spirit of this new law. You want to see apps that collect the absolute bare minimum. If an app is hoarding data about your child's habits, it is a massive red flag, even if the game itself seems completely harmless. Navigating these hidden rules can feel like a full-time job, and the digital world changes faster than any of us can keep up with. If you want calmer, more confident parenting in a screen-filled world, subscribing is probably the simplest way to stay one step ahead of what your kids are facing. We break down these complex tech shifts into plain English every single week, so you never have to feel like you are guessing. Let us move to the third part of your checklist, and this one is a game changer. It is all about the design of the app itself. For years, apps have been designed to keep kids hooked using infinite scroll and autoplay features. You know the look. The glazed eyes, the refusal to put the device down, the meltdowns when the screen is finally taken away. That is not a lack of willpower on your child's part. That is a highly engineered psychological trap. The new legislation directly addresses these addictive design features for minors. It requires apps to give users, and specifically parents of younger users, the ability to turn off autoplay and infinite scroll. It also mandates that algorithms cannot continuously feed content to a child without a clear stopping point. So, when you are doing your 5-minute check, open the app and look at the playback settings. Is there a clear way to stop the next video from playing automatically? Is there a setting to disable the endless feed? If the app makes it incredibly difficult to find these toggles, or if they simply do not exist, the app is ignoring the new safety standards. You are looking for apps that respect your child's time and brain, not apps that treat their attention like a resource to be mined. The fourth area of your checklist is probably the one that keeps you up at night: direct messaging and communication with strangers. We have all heard the horror stories. The new law puts strict guardrails on how minors can interact with adults and other users online. It requires apps to default to the highest privacy settings for communication. This means a child should not be able to receive a direct message from a stranger unless a parent has explicitly changed that setting. Furthermore, the law pushes for better moderation and reporting tools specifically designed for kids. When you check an app, go straight to the social or messaging settings. Who can send your child a message? Is it set to friends only, or is it open to everyone? More importantly, look at how the app handles reporting. If your child receives something inappropriate, is there a big, obvious button to report it, or is it buried 3 menus deep? An app that truly complies with these safety standards will make reporting incredibly easy and will have clear, human-reviewed moderation policies. If the communication settings are wide open by default, that app is failing the most basic safety test. I know looking at all these settings can feel incredibly overwhelming, especially when you have 3 different apps to check and dinner is burning on the stove. That exact feeling of tech exhaustion is why I put together a free sample chapter of my Parenting in the Digital Age guide. It breaks down the exact conversations to have with your kids about these apps without the nagging or the tears. You can grab that free chapter linked right below in the description. It is a quick read, and it will give you the exact words to use the next time you need to set a boundary. But that is only part of the story, because having a law on the books does not mean every company will instantly play fair. Some apps are already looking for loopholes. They might claim they are not targeting kids, so the rules do not apply, even if millions of children are using their platform. Or they might argue that their data collection is for internal analytics rather than advertising, trying to skirt the profiling bans. This is why your 5-minute checklist is so vital. You cannot just trust the app's marketing. You have to look at the actual behavior of the software. Ask yourself, does this app feel like it is trying to protect my child, or does it feel like it is trying to keep them trapped? If the app constantly sends push notifications to draw them back in, or if it uses bright, flashing colors to celebrate streaks and daily logins, it is using manipulative design. The new legislation aims to curb these dark patterns for minors. If you see them, the app is not fully compliant, and you need to have a serious conversation with your child about whether that app deserves a spot on their device. Let us put this all together so you can actually do this in 5 minutes. Next time your child wants to download a new game, sit down with them. Make it a team effort. First, check the privacy defaults. Are the trackers off? Second, look at the data collection. Are they hoarding behavioral data? Third, check the feed design. Can you turn off autoplay and infinite scroll? Fourth, lock down communication. Are direct messages from strangers blocked by default? You can literally run through these 4 questions in less than 300 seconds. And here is the beautiful part. When you do this with your child, you are not just acting as a digital bouncer. You are teaching them digital literacy. You are showing them how to look under the hood of the technology they use every day. You are shifting the dynamic from me versus you to us versus the algorithm. Think about what would happen if you approached screen time this way consistently. Instead of the constant friction of just yelling about time limits, you are having mature conversations about how the app is designed. You are validating their experience. You can say things like, "I see why you love this game. The graphics are amazing, but I noticed the autoplay feature is on, and that is designed to keep you playing even when you are tired. Let us turn that off so you can actually stop when you want to." That changes everything. It removes the shame. It removes the feeling that they are doing something wrong just by enjoying a game. It puts the blame where it belongs, on the design of the app, and empowers your child to take control of their own habits. This is what the new safety laws are really trying to achieve. They are trying to level the playing field so that parents and kids are not fighting a rigged game against billion-dollar attention economies. Now, what happens when an app fails your 5-minute checklist? What if it is the game all their friends are playing, but the privacy settings are a mess and the communication is wide open? This is where you have to be the parent, even when it is uncomfortable. You can allow them to play it, but only under strict, supervised conditions. Maybe they can only play it on a family tablet in the living room, where you can see the screen. Maybe they are not allowed to use the chat feature at all. You hold the boundary, but you do it with empathy. You explain exactly why you are making this choice. You tell them you know their friends are playing this, and you want them to have fun, but you looked at the settings and strangers can message them, and you are not willing to take that risk. They can play it there, or you can find a different game. You will be surprised how often kids actually respect this when it is explained calmly and logically, rather than just being handed down as a random, arbitrary rule. And this one small shift changes everything about how you view your child's digital life. You stop looking at screen time as just a number of minutes, and you start looking at the quality of the experience. 10 minutes on a creative, well-designed, safe app is vastly different from 10 minutes on an app that is feeding them inappropriate content and manipulating their attention. The new legislation gives us the framework to demand better quality, but it is up to us to enforce it in our own homes. We cannot wait for every single app to be perfectly compliant. We have to be the final filter. We have to be the ones who look at the settings, read the labels, and make the call. It is a lot of work, I know. But you are not doing it alone, and every small check you do builds a safer digital environment for your child. I am genuinely curious about how you handle this in your own home. What is the one screen time rule or app check that actually works for your family? Let me know in the comments below, because I read every single one and your ideas might help another parent who is struggling today. Remember, you do not have to be a tech expert to keep your kids safe online. You just have to be present, be curious, and be willing to look under the hood. The apps might be designed to be complicated, but your love and your attention are the ultimate safety features. Keep checking those settings, keep having those conversations, and trust yourself. You are doing a great job in a really hard era of parenting, and your kids are lucky to have you looking out